Well, the fast food mentality, as I said, does something to the mentality of the family meal, which is what Grace Before Meals is trying to bring back. And you'll understand why as we kind of maybe do a little bit of theology of food. Now, you've all heard that there's like a theology of the body, correct? Yeah, because this is the Catholic shop, for goodness sakes. I can even tell you what aisle is in. But there's got to also be a theology of food. What do I mean by that? That means that God has something to say about food. In fact, it all starts at the Old Testament with the creation of the world. Let me ask you, when God, see that sound, hear that sound right there? I love, it's like it's better than when the deacon says, go in peace. All right, what did I love? Do y'all remember a commercial? It said, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Yeah. You guys remember that? Well, I want to have a new commercial that says, it's dinner time. Do you know where your children are? Why is that important? Well, because the sociological studies tell us that, that if you want to reduce drug addiction in teenagers, I left that little onion here, reduce drug addiction in teenagers, teen pregnancy, teen suicide, plus help increase your teenagers' SAT scores. You know what the #1 factor in all of that is? A regular family meal. Grace Before Meals is a movement that started after September the 11th, 2001, to strengthen people's understanding of the power of a regular family meal. Now, all of you are here because you've obviously been patrons to the Catholic shop before, right? So most of you then have at least a Catholic Christian understanding. But do we really take the understanding of the food seriously? Let's go back to the Old Testament and we consider how the people were truly hungering for food in the desert, right? But God planned for them to enter a land flowing with what? Milk and honey. Good Catholics in the corner. Okay, what I'm going to do now, this is not rocket science. All I did was just saute garlic, onions, and a little bit of parsley. No big deal, right? Incense, the smell is like incense. Let us pray. Now I'm going to add a very important ingredient to help sweeten this up, and it's called l'odobio concentrato di pomodoro, also known as tomato paste. All of these ingredients you can find anywhere in any grocery store. And so my style of cooking has got to be accessible for families. It just has to. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate these things together, and then I'm going to also help try to break it all up with a very important ingredient, Russian holy water. Here's where I have to be extra careful, because I'm only going to use a little bit. Because I've got to make sure that, can we get that fan up here actually? Can someone move that fan and bring it all up? Because if you cook with alcohol, we have to be extremely careful. Just a little bit more. You just bring it all up. Because when you cook with alcohol, it lights on fire, okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just blow it right on the food. That way I know it's not going to one direction over the other. We'll do the same thing. And I pray to God that we do not set off any alarms, as I did the last time I did this. At a nursing home. And the only reason why I didn't get a ticket is because the fire chief said, that's really good pasta. A little bit of food can go a long way. In fact, it can touch people's hearts and minds. And you all know, if you cook for people you love, the best way to do it is to go through their stomachs, right? Which is what Jesus wanted to do. And so let's do a little bit of biblical theology. I know, look, the fire is not necessary. But the fact is, I'm a guy. Like fire, unga, unga. No, but there's actually a technique in why I'm doing this with fire. One, it's good for the cameras. And two, when I see the fire burn out, that means that we've kind of cooked the alcohol out of it. Right? So all we're doing is we're creating a little bit of sauce, and then we're going to add to it as well. And the alcohol actually gives a little bit of a flavor profile that is unique. So don't be afraid to cook with alcohol. I'm just grateful to God that I'm not like a Puritan, because Jesus even used it as well. In fact, that's what we're going to do. Let's talk about Jesus and what he thought about food. First of all, he was born in a little town of Bethlehem. Okay, that was horrible, folks. Let's try this one more time. Jesus was born in a little town. He was placed away in a manger. And if you're Italian, it's the same word as mangiare. There's got to be something about food, because Jesus even started his miraculous career with it all. Who remembers what the first miracle is that Jesus performed? My gosh, are you people like EWT and devotees?